What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mike Santi with a couple quick announcements before today's episode, this week's episode, with a couple of announcements before this week's episode. Not really any real things going on, but be on the lookout for some new looks from Problems on Problems, maybe some new faces, you never know, maybe some merch, probably not. I can't even lie to you guys, it's definitely not going to happen yet. But yeah, be on the lookout for some new things with Problems on Problems, especially when it comes to the looks department. But with that, let's roll the intro.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the...
Welcome back to another episode of the Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santi, and I guess I should start off by asking y'all, how was your weekend? How was everybody's weekend? You can't answer, so I'll tell you about mine. Your boy spent most of his weekend moving. Now, not my place, but we'll get more on that subject later. That'll come soon enough. But when I wasn't moving, I was at the Charlotte FC season ticket holders event for, let's just say, a very particular signing. But it was the first iteration of being able to meet the new head signing of head coach Miguel Angel Ramirez. For those of you that don't know, Charlotte FC has signed their first head coach, and everybody is excited. I'm excited. Everybody else is excited. I mean, if you're not excited, you should be excited. Why? Because that means we're one step closer to formulating an actual senior team. Now, I know we need some stuff like, I don't know, more players. I think we have 5 right now signed to the roster, but they're good signings, especially like given the fact that our season won't start until 2022. But the event, there was music. DJ Fannie Mae was spinning the wheels of steel out there, laying out those tracks left and right. You had free beer and wine, which, I mean, do we really need to ask more questions as to why I went there? Free beer and wine. There were food trucks there. There was merch and a discount for the merch tent. There were customized hats. There's a photo wall. Gosh, what wasn't there at this event? And on top of that, the part that I did enjoy about the entire event is that the entire event was invite only to season ticket holders. And what made it really special was the fact that this thing was packed with people, and all of these people were either season ticket holders or a guest of a season ticket holder, and this venue was jam-packed full of people to the point where the bar ran out of beer and wine. Like, if that tells you anything about our crowd or what the games are going to be like, you should already know. I'm very excited about this. So it was nice to kind of talk with the coach, speak with the coach, take some pictures, hang out with a lot of people who are all about Charlotte FC, especially before our inaugural season. Inaugural? I don't know anymore. It's too late. But yeah, think about it like that. They brought out the new head coach to have a kind of Q&A with pre-submitted questions, obviously, because, you can't do it live. Pre-submitted questions for him, and Man's had a lot to say, especially in the idea of you might see Charlotte FC in the playoffs in the first season.
You will enjoy for sure, and with you, we will get, I'm pretty sure and confident that we will get the playoff in the first year. Thank you.
So, just putting that out there. Don't want to make y'all nervous, especially you Atlanta United fans, but we'll talk about that at another date. But something happened at that event that kind of led me on to another topic that we're going to talk about today, and it is the idea of boyfriends or girlfriends having a problem with their significant other hanging out with their friends. And that's to really say, if a girlfriend had a problem with her boyfriend going out with his friends, just hanging out with the dudes, or if a boyfriend had a problem with his girlfriend going to hang out with her friends. And I mean, also that, and really TikTok coming up with this whole idea of like that idea of the girlfriend that's so cool that her boyfriend brings her out everywhere. And none of the guys agree with this, and a lot of the girls also don't agree with this, that if you're being brought out to your significant other's friends all the time, like every time they hang out, is for a lot of not healthy reasons. One probably being that like one of you guys is codependent and the other one doesn't know how to set boundaries. But that detracts from we digress. That's the word I'm looking for. We digress from the actual subject, which is, gosh, English hard. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like 2 a.m. I don't know why I'm recording this right now, but we'll start off with this. How insecure are you that you can't stand when your significant other goes out with their friends? And now, granted, I'm about to get on the other side of this, but let's talk about you first. Like, are we that insecure that they're going to act immorally or irresponsibly or anything like that? And if that's the case, why are you dating them? Honestly, it's just me, but if you're dating somebody that you literally cannot be away from or like stand the idea of them hanging out with their friends, maybe you shouldn't be dating that person. Like, I'm just a thought, if that. But on top of that too, like, let's say the other side of the shoe, maybe that significant other has given you reason to not trust them or anything like that. Again, why are you dating them? The idea that like, I got to be around you all the time because last time you went out with your friends, like, you were acting reckless and all types of like crazy. Like, that doesn't fly with me. Like, if that's gonna be you, if you want to do you, if you want to act crazy and act as though you're not in a relationship, don't be in a relationship. If you're just being dumb, that's you. Go be dumb. Go do your thing. I'm very much on the side of like 100% you should match with 100% them. And I don't mean that you guys have to agree on everything and everything like that. I mean who each of you are as individuals. Yeah, who each of you are as individuals should match up with each other, where like, if you really only like 98% of this person and they only really like 95% of you, or whatever that percentage may be, if they don't like 100% of who you are, then it's not going to work out. There was always going to be some dynamic of somebody trying to change or somebody making up scenarios that don't actually exist because it's not all about you. Side tangent later. But yeah, I just think, gosh, Nothing screams codependency. Like, I have to hang out with my significant other. Like, you do. I just want y'all to know, like, you do realize you are two individuals and that you don't have to spend all of your time together, and that before you met each other, you each had your own individual lives, and those lives are allowed to continue. I mean, even married people in healthy marriages still do stuff on their own, because although it is this idea of you guys becoming one, you're still individuals and have your own identity. It's this like weird idea that when me starts becoming a we thing, I'm not on board with that. I don't speak French. I ain't about that life. Like, yes, I do believe that two people can do life together, but if you're doing your entire life together and there's not any part of you that's individualistic or separate, or your identity is just the relationship or the relationship, good luck with that, because you are in for a rude awakening when one of you guys decides to leave the relationship. If anything, I guess I don't even know how to close this one. I guess if anything, the idea behind this is to make sure that you are setting your own boundaries, because Lord knows people aren't going to set boundaries for you. I mean, they might set boundaries for you for themselves, or to protect themselves, but it's really just going to be, you have to set your boundaries, reasonable boundaries, whatever's reasonable to you, and you have to be able to dole out consequences for when people mess with those boundaries. But with that, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Yeah, I'm delirious at this point, and that light is getting way too bright, but we'll take a break. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, do the whole wrap up, talk about some stuff, especially when it comes to you guys in the game of catch, and then we'll send you on your way.
P.O.P. all the time.
And we're back with the great debate. Give it some time for the long ass graphic to finish rolling through. It's about 5 seconds long. And what happened? Last episode, I asked you, how do you say it when it comes to the game of catch? Do you say have a catch or play catch? And 95% of you said play catch. And honestly, the 5% of you, I think a couple of you in there accidentally, and you told me, a couple of you accidentally just clicked the wrong option. So I feel like it would be even more than 95% of you guys that say play catch. And I kind of have to agree. Like, yeah, I might hurt. I mean, I'm in the business of hurting feelings when it comes to polls. And if you get your feelings hurt off of a poll from an Instagram post on a podcast, maybe look at your own life. But I would say that the idea of saying have a catch seems kind of douchey to me. I don't know if it's just like the context of which I'm hearing it, but I'm hearing like a Chad just saying, either recollecting a memory that he had, that he was like hanging out with the bros and he was like, yeah, man, we're just having a catch. That's how I hear it in my brain. Whereas play catch just feels more natural. Like, especially if you're thinking of catch as a game and not just an activity. I'm going to lean more on the side of let's go play catch. Like, I don't think I've ever told anybody like, hey, you want to go have a catch? That's not happening. So I'd agree with 95% of you. I still think it's more than 95% of you, but I can't do math, so we're just gonna stick to what the machines tell me. But yeah, 95% of you say that it is play catch. That being said, we move on to this week, so I don't know if you guys have been like on the news or anything like that. On the news, I don't know if you guys have been reading some weird celebrity news or anything, but this blurb came across my feed earlier this week where Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were talking about the fact that like they don't really bathe, like they just don't see it as necessary. If you can't, I believe one of the quotes was like, if you can't see dirt, I don't really see the point in it. Where Mila went on to talk about like, oh yeah, it's really just what did she say? She said pits, tits, holes, and souls. Golly, what a lady. But yeah, pits, tits, holes, and souls. Which, I mean, like, yeah, for sure, your armpits, like, you got to get those. You got to do, I mean, get the holes for sure. That's got to be, like, mandatory. And soles of your feet. I had listened to a couple other people talk about this, and someone said that they hadn't washed their soles, like, the soles of their feet, actually washed them in God knows how long. And to that, we come to this week's question. Do y'all wash your feet? Like, when you're in the shower, do you actually, like, get down there and, like, scrub your feet? Or, yeah, scrub your feet. That's the only way I can describe it. You scrub and clean your feet, like, get in between your toes and all that stuff. Or are you like these barbarians that are letting the water just run down their leg and the soapy water just kind of consume their feet and saying, that's good enough? Because if you can't tell how I feel already, you're going to find out next week. But, yeah. Do you guys wash your feet? Do you actually like get down there, or do you just like let the soapy water do its thing? I'm really praying for some of y'all in regards to that. But yes, let's talk about it in the polls, talk about it in the comments. Let me know, and we'll come back at it next week. And that kind of moves us on over to the Friday Follows. This week's Friday Follows, we'll start off with the legend herself. That's DJ Fannie Mae. You can find her on Instagram at DJ Fannie Mae. Literally that. I'll put it down here on the screen like I always do. But yeah, she was out there at the Charlotte FC event doing her thing, spinning the wheels of steel, hitting the ones and twos, whatever you want to call it. She was laying it out there. And she's been doing her thing. Met her at a beat battle one time. I was not participating in the beat battle. I was spectating. Trust me, that's not my lane. But yeah, killing it on the radio, doing her thing. But make sure you go follow her and her other 18,000 followers on Instagram at DJ Fannie Mae. And the next follow is going to be Chico Sanchez. Chico Sanchez, you can find him at 803 Chico 704 on Instagram. You might recognize him from some soccer games in the area in which he dresses up as a mariachi with a skull mask, a Dia de los Muertos type of mask. And now he's got one fully decorated for Charlotte FC. Can't wait to see him in his full outfit when it comes to the season. Him sitting there right next to Sombrero Man. It's going to be a great time. But you can find him again at 803 Chico 704 on Instagram. With that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the let's do that again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Problems on Problems YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us at Problems on Problems Podcast on Instagram, at problems_pod on Twitter. And gosh, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, where else? Spotify, and everywhere else where podcasts are found. And like always, follow your boy at Mike Santi 18 on all social media. But with that, guys, like I always say, if it's not a good time, hope it's a good story, and I will see you next week.